3, go.
Good morning or good afternoon to you, colleagues and friends. From Bogota, Colombia, I'm Phillip Scho, the director of CEPEI, and unfortunately I cannot join you in this important event that the Doha International Family Institute is organizing. Due to logistical problems, I will not be able to join you, but I didn't want to lose the opportunity to be talking about the experience of Latin America and the Caribbean, the region where I'm from, in order to be sharing some international experiences on family planning around the SDGs and our agenda, our global goals, and also how do we translate them into a regional and local context, and specifically seeing a region of 33 countries with over 660 million inhabitants that has been a cheerful supporter of the SDGs. No other region actually has presented more national voluntary reviews to the high-level political forum in New York in order to present what they are doing and how they are actually implementing this holistic and multidimensional agenda. And what we will see is, first of all, the challenges that we have around the SDGs, then how and what actually lessons learned do we have around family planning. And first, we see that we have a big challenge in keeping the momentum to achieve the SDGs. We are seeing a certain fatigue of the SDGs already, even before we are implementing them, because it is hard to actually get what we have on paper into reality, especially at the national, but in a major challenge into the territories of our countries, and specifically those that are the most needed. So actually we need to see how do we deliver on the whole development approach and leave no one behind, where family planning is of course a major and central piece of this policy, and taking this from the United Nations, actually this agenda, like I was saying, into the countries in order that there is a strong ownership of this process. So what we're actually seeing here is how do we approach those problems, and what are the first steps that we should be learning from an international or from a regional perspective to our Arab colleagues. First of all, to hold each other accountable. We believe that this is something important for no matter for each and every one of the 17 goals and the 169 targets, but also share examples on SDG implementation and momentum around family planning, and find the ways how to bring new and innovative ways into the agenda, since it is something very important to see how we support, for example, the UN reform development system, because there it's how we can actually deliver in practical terms and see how that transformational agenda that we're seeing that in the first time in human history we have the economic, scientific, and also financial resources to be sustainable, to have a sustainable development in Latin America and the Caribbean, but also in the Arab region or any other region in the world, and that we actually need to develop a relevant communication policy and advocacy messages in order to ask our development stakeholders in the ground to have a strong ownership of this agenda. So what do we actually want to say, colleagues, and the experiences from our region that we think that could help to boost the debate and trigger actually a debate coming from Latin America and the Caribbean towards the Arab region. We believe that delivering better policies with greater support and ownership needs to have spaces of accountability and public scrutiny of the commitments that we have in family planning. We need to bring ideas, expertise as laboratories into really our cities, our most vulnerable and needed in a region that it's the most unequal in the world, needs actually more innovation at the local level. And therefore we believe that we need better capacities, of course. We need more trust among actors in order to engage in family planning, but we need more expertise as well, and that expertise has to be shared by South-South and Triangular cooperation, but also in a development of capacities brought in different levels in our region. The lack of coordination as well, we are seeing as a major challenge, and made the lack of this experience challenging, seeing how we can actually work on not restricting this agenda in an enabling environment where different stakeholders can actually empower itself. I'm talking specifically about a data revolution as well for the family planning that comes from civil society, the private sector, the academia and research institutes, but also how governments enable those actors in order to pursue the development goals. I would like to finish, colleagues, by telling you how we believe that we need to address comprehensively this agenda. We need to build better capacities, we need to be more transparent, and we need to use the available data in order to connect it to public policy, in order to actually plan much more efficient the implementation of the SDGs and therefore the family planning as well. But as important as well, the ownership, the better capacities that we can create, and last but not least, the interaction that we can have with other nations, development partner across nations, in order to help that experience sharing. And these are just a couple of few thoughts that I had here from Colombia, in Bogota, where I am at this very moment, thinking of you in Qatar in order to see what comes out of your discussion. We are actually eager to hear more from you and wish you all the best once again, and a lot of success, that these 2 days be fruitful and you can share those experiences with us in the near future. We hope that you're gonna have these experiences soon in Latin America, and bye-bye. Thank you very much for your attention, and it will be an honor to see you next year in Qatar once again. Bye-bye.